Hello, everyone. I'm Lizette Gabriel, and I work as a librarian in the Business and Economics Department here at the Los Angeles Public Library, and your host for today. Sorry. Welcome to today's presentation called SBA Microloans 101. This program is brought to you by the Small Business Administration, SBA, in observance of Hispanic Heritage Month. Today's program will focus on microloans. What are they, and how you can get one? As a starting business owner, do you need a microloan under $50,000? If you do, thank you for being with us today. Our presenter for today is Cesar Estrada, and he will cover the free resources available to small businesses and entrepreneurs. This program will be recorded and saved on the library's YouTube channel for future view. Please send us your questions throughout the program, and we will have a Q&A session after the presentation. I now like to pass it over to Cesar.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cesar Estrada. I am an outreach and marketing specialist working for the SBA out of our Los Angeles district office. I'm located here in downtown LA. My district office covers 3 counties. We cover LA County, Santa Barbara, and Ventura County. So I thank you for being here. And just like my colleague, and I want to thank the Los Angeles Public Library for inviting us to have this workshop today and hosting it. So my friend and colleague, Lisette, thank you for having us. Yes, this is the month of, we observe Hispanic Heritage Month this month. And this is a workshop we're putting together in observance of that. So thank you very much for joining us. I will give my contact information at the end. So if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am here to serve you. I do speak Spanish and Spanish as well. So if anybody has some questions in Spanish, or if you see this and you know of an entrepreneur and you need some assistance and they want to speak in Spanish, I'm fully available. So with that, we're going to get started. I think Lisette is going to start sharing the presentation. So this is our logo. Next slide, please, Lisette. And we're going to give you a lot of information. So, you know, my agency here, we work, our main mission is to work and ignite change and spark action so small business can confidently start, grow, expand, and recover. You know, we do help with disasters, natural declared disasters by the federal government. You know, we have a lot of earthquakes, flooding, fires, pandemics, as we learn. So our resources expand through all of these. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here is a little bit about my agency, the SBA. We are an independent federal agency created in 1953, I believe President Eisenhower, if I'm not mistaken. It's a network of district offices across the country. I already mentioned the counties we cover: LA, Santa Barbara, Ventura. California is big, so we have many district offices covering many. Some states only have one district office. We have many. We have one in Santa Ana covering Orange County. We have one in San Diego, Fresno covering Central California. We have our Northern California. I think we have San Francisco, and then we have one in Sacramento. California is very big. Some states have much more just to cover the population. So if you are watching this and you're outside of LA County or even outside of California, know that these resources apply to you. We are a federal agency, so we have these throughout the United States, territories across the United States and its territories, excuse me. So we are dedicated to supporting small businesses through access to capital, our SBA-backed loans, which today we're going to talk a little bit more closer about our microloans, our government contracting assistance, so the SBA gives certifications. So if you want to go for government contracting at the federal level for federal agencies, business advising and education, I'm going to share about that, our free business advising, federally funded with tax dollars to give you mentors, counselors, trainers, workshops, help you with A to Z, everything that we talked about. And I think I covered disaster assistance as well. Next slide, please. So question, right? Big question. I've been doing this job and most of the topics, if not all the time, every other caller is like, I want to start a business or I have a business and I would like to know more about, capital, how does it work? So we're going to cover, our program, some of the myths. We're going to talk about SBA-backed loans, how they work, so I'm going to give you a lot of advice. Again, this is recorded, so you could probably just press pause and rewind, and I'll give my contact information, but there's a lot of information. If you need to take notes, but I think everything should, you should be able to pause it if this is a video. So need access to capital, right? The SBA, the Small Business Administration, can help you. We have programs for you. Next slide, please. Need funding for your business? The SBA can help, right? We have SBA-backed loans. What is an SBA-backed loan, right? What is it? So the SBA, we are not a bank. We are a federal agency. What we do is we have a network of banks that we recruit, right? We go out, we have a position here called lender relations specialist. This person goes out and meets with banks and tries to recruit them to see if they want to become SBA-backed lenders. They go through our process, and once they are approved, they can give out loans. What happens is you go to a lender if they are an SBA-approved lender, right? You fill out their forms. Depending on how much the program, the amount you're going to borrow, and where you use it for, these lenders will look at the program. They'll talk to you about it, and then they'll send it to the SBA. They go, okay, we feel that this is a good loan, so they send it to the SBA. The SBA says, okay, we approve it, and they give a guarantee to the bank, not to the small business, to the bank, making it easier for them to lend the money. That's the way. So the guarantee come from 50%, 60, 70, or 80, up to 90% the lender can get, making it easier for them to lend you the money. That's what an SBA-backed loan is. We also have private investors, which we're not going to cover in this workshop. We have our R&D awards program. We're not going to cover that in surety bonds. Those are other types of SBA that we can have, but today we're going to concentrate more on the SBA-backed loans. Next slide, please. So need a business to loan to start, grow, or expand. The SBA works with approved lenders to kind of cover that a little bit, to offer microloans and SBA-backed loans, which offers you competitive, the small business or the entrepreneurs offers them competitive terms, lower down payments, flexible overhead requirements, and our counseling and education. So I love to talk about that because our resource partners will help you through the life of that loan, help you manage it if you have questions, all these things. So it wonderful if you can walk into a bank and get a loan. That's awesome. You have everything covered. You get it. That's wonderful. But with us, you will always have access to our counselor. And even if you don't have, let me just say this, and even if you don't have an SBA-backed loan and you do have a regular loan, you were able to apply for one and a bank gave you one outstanding, you could still come to the SBA and we'll give you counseling and education to manage that loan and to make sure that everything's going well and you're using it wisely. You can always have a second pair of ears, a counselor, a subject matter expert in all those things. So it doesn't have to be an SBA-backed loan. If you have a loan, please come to us. We have resources for you. Next slide, please. So how can you use our SBA-backed loans? What kind of things can you use it for? How can SBA-backed loan help you? Well, there's multiple, depending on your product, your industry, what stage you are in the business. Because, like I said, you could start, grow, expand. If you've been open for 5 years, been open for 10 years, been open for 20 years, different businesses have different types of needs, right? So it just, what is it that they need? So you can use it to launch, grow, or repair a startup. You can use it to start or purchase a small business. So maybe, you work for someone or you're an employee and you've been there for 15, 20 years and you learned a lot about that business, and all of a sudden, the owner's going to retire and maybe thinks that, you have an opportunity to buy that business. We can help you with that, right? Access revolving credit or working capital for day-to-day expenses. Some of our loans can help you with that. Other bigger projects is purchase, renovate, or expand facilities. So, these are big, operations that someone's been open for maybe 10 years, or a little bit more. Purchase inventory, equipment, or machinery. So big, heavy equipment, construction, things of that nature. Purchase land or real estate. And I just want to briefly stop there and say real estate, meaning commercial real estate, meaning, let's say you're a pizza parlor. I'm just going to go with restaurants just because that's what came to my mind. But any type of business, brick and mortar, where you have a lease, realtors, I don't know, pizza, dentist, any small business. You're leasing and you're growing. And the next lease is coming up and you're saying, you know what, I think I can purchase this building. I don't want to sign another lease. You actually want to buy the land where you're working out of. That's what we mean about real estate. We're not meaning, I've done these workshops and people think, okay, well, maybe I can buy homes, repair them, and sell them for a profit, like fixing, fixing homes and selling them. That's not the type of loans that we're talking about when we say real estate or purchase land. We're talking about commercial real estate where you are going to operate a business out of. And the wonderful thing about that, or one of the benefits about that, is our SBA-backed loans. When you buy property and you run your business out of, the SBA requires that you only use 51% of that land or property, and you can lease the other 49%. So then you can lease it to someone else, and that they can run a business and they can help you pay for your property. So I always throw that out there because I think that's a really good benefit. 51% is all you need to do, all you need to use. Next one is export a product or service. There was not enough room down there, but it says export a product or service. So if you're importing, exporting, and you need extra capital to do that, that we can help. These loans can help you with that as well. Okay, next slide, please. So today we want to talk a little bit about the microloan program and what is a microloan. So here's a lot of what we're going to cover. Excuse me. A microloan program provides loans up to $50,000 to help small businesses and certain not-for-profit childcare centers start up and expand. The average microloan is about $13,000. Now that information came from our national SBA.gov website, but the average microloan here in LA County, our 3 counties, is about $33,000. So across the nation is $13,000, but for us it's $33,000. So if you need to borrow less than $50,000, the SBA has this program, the microloan, for you. SBA provides funds to specially designated intermediary lenders, which are nonprofit community-based organizations with experience in lending as well as management and technical assistance. These intermediaries administer the microloan program for eligible borrowers. So the great thing that we want to understand about that is they're nonprofit community-based organizations, meaning they're not a regular for-profit bank like your local Chase, Wells Fargo's big ones, or your local credit union, or your local small bank that's in your neighborhood. I've seen a lot of U.S. banks. There's so many banks out there, but it's not a for-profit entity. That's the main thing that I want to come across from you. What does that mean for you? That means that our microloan programs don't require collateral, right? So you don't need collateral to get a loan for $50,000. Your credit score doesn't have to be 800 or 700. I think the credit scores for these guys, the nonprofit entities, it's about 660, 670. So, you don't have to have an outstanding gold credit score. You can be attainable. You will still need some other things, but those are just a couple of things that will help you out, right? So I want to mention that. So they're non-for-profit entities, the ones that do our microloans and administer our microloans. Next slide, please. How do I use the microloan? What are the type of uses they can use this microloans for? So microloans can be used for a variety of purposes that help small businesses expand. Use them when you need less than $50,000 to rebuild, reopen, repair, enhance, or improve your small business. Some of this includes working capital, inventory, supplies, buy furniture, fixtures, machinery, small machinery, because you're not going to be able to buy a lot with $50,000, right? Some equipment. Proceeds from an SBA microloan cannot be used to pay existing debts or to purchase real estate. So that's a big one, right? So we have other programs in case you have, sign a very bad loan that's not favorable to you, and maybe you want to see how you can restructure a bad loan with some really high interest. We have other programs for you. And if you want to buy commercial real estate, we have another program for you. This one is mainly for working capital, inventory, supplies, furniture, fixtures, machinery, and I'm assuming small equipment. But those are the type of uses you can use for. and obviously not to repay existing debts or to purchase real estate. And the SBA tracks that, so just be aware of that. Next slide, please. How do I pay back my microloan? Very easy. It's just, with the lender. Loan repayment terms vary according to the several factors: repayment terms, amount, planned use, lender requirements, needs of the small business owner. A maximum repayment terms allowed for an SBA microloan is 7 years. Our microloan lender here in LA County is actually 6 years. So I got this from our national website, the SBA.gov. But our local micro lender, the nonprofit entity, requires the repayment of 6 years. So almost think of it almost like a car payment, right? $50,000 paid in 6 years, right? Interest rates vary depending on the intermediary lender, generally between 8 to 13%. Ours here in LA County is about close to 7%. I want to say 6.6%, something around that. And we have a slide that will show that. So it's a pretty good rate if you need some of that. So it just depends on making those, using your due diligence, find out if this program is for you. But we can help you with that. Next slide, please. So these are, we always cover this when we do access to capital. I know it's a microloan, but you always are going to need some of this. This is going to give you a better chance to land an SBA-backed loan, right? I always talk about this, having a business plan, having expense sheets. And when I say an expense sheet, is writing down to the cent what you're going to use the money for. You're going to borrow, you're not going to borrow the whole $50,000. You need to borrow $45,670.28. And you have to have an itemized list of how you're going to use those funds, expense sheets. Financial statements, if you have a current business, then you're gonna need those, your last 2 years of taxes, your personal income taxes, things of this nature. That you're gonna need that. Financial projections, this is a big one. So you're gonna infuse this capital, this money, and then you're gonna use it for this type of expenses, and then you have to find out, you gotta tell them how it's gonna impact your business and how you're gonna be able to make more money off of it, right? So financial projections, 1 to 3 years of financial projections with the SBA. Our resources can help you put this together. So all these documents, we have counselors that can help you put all of these documents together to put a financial package together so you can apply for an SBA-backed loan, an SBA microloan. But these are the documents that our lender needs, even if it's our nonprofit entity. They will still need a business plan from you. They will still need expense sheets. They will still need financial statements and financial projections. Next slide, please. So this is determine your credit worthiness. So your local SBA district office and SBA resource partners can help you determine your credit worthiness using the 5 C's model. And the 5 C's model come from the banking industry. Every bank out there uses this, and the SBA is not a bank. We have lenders that are approved by the SBA, so they use this model. Every lender out there uses this model to gauge your credit worthiness. One is your character. Second is cash flow, what they say is the most important one. See how much cash is actually in the bank or how much cash you bring into the table. Let's say you want to borrow $40,000 and you have maybe you have $15,000 or $20,000 in the bank, but you want to borrow the money so you can have this money saved for some rainy day or for some really crucial days. So maybe you don't want to use your capital, but you want to show that you have some cash flow already available to you. You just don't want to use it. Maybe you want to put $5,000 and you want to borrow the other 40, something like that, right? Every situation is different. The cash flow shows that you're going to be able to repay the debt. Collateral. So I said microloans do not need collateral, but if you're going to borrow more than $50,000 with one of the other programs, you might need collateral. The land you purchased, the equipment being bought, something, maybe your home, something, right? Collateral, guaranteeing that bank that they're going to get their money, right? Capitalizations, cash flow, the documents, all those things, and the conditions, the terms of the loan, and all that stuff. So these are the things that you will need. So this will all these banks use this, the 5 C's to determine your credit worthiness. And we can talk about that. Our counselors can talk to you about that more. Next slide, please. So the SBA loan eligibility, right? So to apply for an SBA-backed loan, we do have some eligibility requirements. You got to be operating a for-profit business. So nonprofit entities, no. You have to be a for-profit business, be considered a small business as defined by the Small Business Administration, and that's through our NAICS codes, which is NAICS, which stands for the North America Industry Classification Standards. I believe there's a site for that. You can go to SBA.gov. We have that there. You can search your NAICS codes, because every business, manufacturing, importing, real estate, every type of is given a NAICS code. North America Industry Classification Standard. Everybody get a NAICS code, and the criteria is either by employees, how many employees you have, or how much money you make, depending on what type of business you are. But most businesses generally are considered fall into that small business category by your NAICS code. Be engaged in or propose to do business in the United States or its possessions. So for profit, be a small business, considered a small business, and be doing business in the United States or its territories, which is Alaska, right? Our states, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, things of that nature, right? So be in the United States for profit. Be able to demonstrate a need for a loan. That will be through those documents that we talked about, your business plan. Use the funds for a sound business purpose. So, we don't want to get into any illegal activity, so we need to find out what type of business you're going to in. And that's pretty much something that, the business plan will explain. Not be delinquent on any existing debt obligations to the United States government. So we are the federal government, right? So maybe a student loan that was funded by the government and didn't pay back, defaulted on that, that's going to come up. If you're part of the military, you have a VA home loan, that's a federal loan. You defaulted on that, that's going to come up on this record, and you will not be able to qualify for one of our SBA-backed loans. So be aware of that. Be credit worthy and reasonably assured repayment of the loan, and that will be shown through those documents that we talked about. The FICEs of credit will determine that, but you want to show your business plan, financial projections, and all those things will cover that. Not be on an ineligible business, right? You don't want to be that. So these are the categories that are considered ineligible businesses. Real estate investment, I said like flipping homes, right? I kind of cover that. Lending activities, marketing schemes, things of that nature, speculative activities, pyramid sales structures, gambling, illegal activities. It's not there, but like marijuana industry. Some states have approved it, but this is the federal government. Federal government has not approved it. So I just want to mention that. Marijuana is also another one that's not going to qualify for SBA-backed loans. Next slide, please. So the loan process is very, it's easy to say it's easy, but it's a hard process. But we have counselors that can help you. But this is basically, going through the simple steps. Access loan readiness. How much do you need, and for what purpose? Right? We talked about that. Exactly how much you need, and how are you going to use it, and then how is it going to impact your business? How much exactly you need? How are you going to use it, and how is it going to impact your business? Do you have your loan package ready? We talked about that. Our counselors are going to help you with that, which is your business plan, expense sheets, financial projections. Okay. Apply with lender of your choice. Sometimes our partners will help you find the lender. We'll guide you there. Match funding need for the loan program, meaning if you need less than $50,000, they're going to say the SBA Microloans for you. If you need more than $50,000, our 7A loans go up to $5 million, and we have some 7A loans that go to $350,000. Some other 7A loans go to $500,000. So it just depends on how much money you need. We'll guide you to which SBA-backed loan is right for you. Step 3, lender approves. The bank gets all of this. They approve it, or they declined it, or it's approved pending the SBA guarantee. Remember, the SBA guarantee goes to the lender. So they have the package. The bank approves it. Now they send it to the SBA. The SBA reviews it. The bank tells them, we approve. Now we just need your guarantee. The SBA team reviews it. They say, okay, we guarantee it. Go ahead and give the loan. So then the lender sends a request to the SBA. SBA makes moral eligibility determination. Once approved, the lender closes and services the loan like normal, right? The SBA just given the guarantee. Then you're just dealing with the bank directly, setting up repayments. They'll give you the cash. They'll disperse the funds to you. Everything will move forward just like a regular loan. Okay, next slide, please. So lending programs overview, we're just going to cover some of that. I know we talked a little bit more about the microloans. We had 4 slides on the microloans. They go up to $50,000, but SBA guarantee loans go up to $5 million. I mentioned the 7A loan right there. We have one of our 7A loans is the Community Advantage loan that goes up to $350,000. We have some trade, import and exporting, but 504 fixed asset financing. That's the one you can purchase big equipment and buy real estate, commercial real estate. The breakdown, I'll mention to you, there's a breakdown, there's a formula they use for that 504 loan. If you're going to buy real estate, the borrower needs to come up with 10% of whatever that amount is, 10%. Then we have a CDC covers 40%, and then a regular bank, a for-profit bank, will cover the other 50%. And we'll help you with that, and we'll show you some, I'll show you a slide of letting you know the activity on those because it is happening. Small business investment companies, we're not going to cover that because I'm not talking about that today. Okay, next slide, please. This is a slide briefly what's the activities happening here in the last fiscal year, and some of these numbers, they're after COVID. I kind of like to show this slide because I want to let you guys know that it's not easy. They are happening, but we want to see more activities. So our microloan, if you look at the first box, microloans up to $50,000. The average microloan, like I said, is around $33,000. The average rate is 7.75. Excuse me, I think I said 6. No, the average is 7.75. Gets repaid in 6 years. The bar fees are about 2%. The collateral this is microlender's policy, but it's no collateral. What they're being used for: working capital, inventory, supplies, equipment, no debt refinancing, just kind of the things I already covered. Main thing here I want to show you guys is the loan activity in fiscal year 23. We had 37 microloans. That's not a big number. We want to move that up. So we want to put a focus on our microloans. I'm sure LA County, I know there's not 37 businesses in LA County or Santa Barbara or Ventura. I'm sure there's thousands of small businesses. So for us to have 37 microloans, we really want to get the word out and let people know that these are available to them. Then we have our 7A loans. I'm not going to go too much into that, but as you can see, we did 2,000 of those loans in fiscal year 23, which that's a pretty good number, but we can do a lot better, obviously. And then our 504 loans, we did 370 of those loans. So people are buying property with these or equipment, right? So it is happening. 370 loans, that's a pretty decent number, okay? But let's focus on the microloans, 37 microloans. If you guys need some help, you need less than $50,000, I'm here to assist you and we'll give you some resources. Next slide, please. So these are just, we want to cover some of these myths that we get a lot of calls at the district level. I answer a lot of them and we just want to debunk some of these myths. The SBA loans are for startups and restaurants. No, that's not that. Any small business at any stage can qualify for SBA-backed loans, which may help extend payment terms, require the less down payments, can be used more flexibility covering a variety of business needs. So no, you don't have to be a startup or a restaurant. Our SBA-backed loans can be used for any type of business, any type, at any length. It doesn't matter where you guys are at in your life cycle. Myth number two, SBA loans are harder, take longer to get than other loans. No, it just depends on you having all the paperwork. Not necessarily. The paperwork for SBA loan and conventional loans are essentially the same. It's the same process. The lender is going to use the same thing. If they're SBA an approved lender, they're going to guide you to our SBA-backed loans. And then once it's over, they're going to send it to the SBA for the guarantee. That's the only difference. Lender decides whether to utilize the SBA guarantee. So maybe the lender says, we don't need an SBA guarantee. We're okay right now. But if you get that guarantee from the SBA, it's okay. So not necessarily. It just depends on you preparing all these documents for them, having the right answers for them. Myth, I don't have enough collateral to qualify. SBA will ask for available assets to be pledged, but SBA loans can be approved based on cash flow without requiring loans to be secured fully by collateral. So every situation is different. And again, remember the 5 C's of credit. I said cash flow is the most important one. Cash flow will determine that. So if you have a lot of cash and maybe you don't want to use your own cash, but you have it in the bank, every situation is different. It's just having a conversation. So the answer is you do not necessarily need to have collateral. And I already told you, microloans do not require collateral at all. But if you need more, then the discussion needs to be had. SBA makes the loans. No, for ordinary business purposes, SBA guarantees loans made by participating lenders. The only time the SBA will give you a loan directly if it's a declared disaster. SBA only provides direct loans through its disaster program pursuant to a disaster declaration. So when the federal government declares a federal disaster in a certain area for whatever catastrophe happened, then the SBA will give you a direct loan from the SBA directly. Other than that, all the other loans that we talked about, our 504 loan, our 7A loan, and a microloan, they come from lenders, SBA approved lenders. SBA will pay off your loan if you default. No, SBA provides a guarantee to the lender, not to the borrower. The small business will be considered the borrower. Borrowers are still liable. So that loan, it has to get repaid. It will follow you always. Okay. Next slide, please. Debunking more myths here. I have been declined for a bank loan. I have to be declined for a bank loan before I qualify for SBA loan. You do not have to be declined. As a matter of fact, we always say, come to us first. Don't go to a lender. Don't go to a lender and have a lender decline you, because then you're going to go, oh, I'm going to have to find out some other way. And then someone is going to email you or text you. I get them all the time. I don't know how. But you're approved for the loan. Contact us now. And someone will lend you the $48,000, but the terms might not be favorable to you. They'll tell you, we'll approve you in 48 hours, and you'll go through them and you'll get them, but maybe the terms are not very favorable to you. So maybe we take a little bit more than 48 hours, but the terms will be favorable to you, and you do not have to sign a predatory loan. So no, you do not have to be declined by another bank, but do come to us first. Come to our counselors first, have a conversation, get the facts before you go out there and get declined by some bank, and then think that your only option is some really bad loan for you. Please do not go there. We want to help you guys. SBA loans are not borrower friendly. Fact, SBA loans were designed for small businesses, as they come with more flexible terms than most conventional loans and do not have prepayment penalties. Our loans we're not going to put you in bad situations. So have a discussion with our lenders. Every lender has different criteria, but no, these are not. They are borrower friendly is the main answer. Okay, I hope I was able to debunk some of those myths there. Next slide, please. So let's say you go through it and you receive an SBA loan, right? You have an SBA loan now. Well, we created what we call My SBA Loan Portal. Once you have a loan serviced by a bank, you can easily come to this portal and create an account. You can follow your loan. You can see the balance. You can see when your payment was made. You can see all those things. So in case you have any doubts if payment went through or not, you can always follow your loan. If you're like me, I will check it every day. But hopefully you're not like me. But we have this great tool for you. It's a very cool tool for you, so you can follow your loans. So I highly encourage you to, once you have a loan, and if you're out there and you have an SBA loan and you do not have My SBA Loan Portal, please contact us. We'll help you set it up. Okay. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. So now you said, okay, Cesar, where I kind of like what I heard. I really like, I'm interested in these loans. I kind of, I heard what you said, Cesar. What do I do now? How can I help you? How can we help you? So this is the part where this is what probably call it into action. Now we heard the theory. Now we put this into action. Which resource partners are for you? So these are organizations I'm going to share with you guys that the SBA funds will we refer to them our resource partners, because the SBA does not hire direct counselors. We fund these people. They hire subject matter experts so they can help you with everything that I covered above. Everything that I covered in the previous slides, they can help you with. Okay, so let's find out who they are, and you need to contact them today, right after this workshop. Next slide, please. You just got to find out which one's best for you, but I say contact them, all of them. This is an organization called SCORE. Score.org is their website. You can find a mentor through there that can help you with all types of different business topics, not just access to capital. They can help you with your business plan, financial projections, create that expense sheet. All of these things the SCORE can help you with. It's an acronym. The last two letters, retired executives. You can go to score.org and search a mentor. It's almost like that social media site, Facebook, where you can see their picture. They'll show you their expertise. They'll tell you how they want to be communicated. You can even find them by industry and classification. So you can look for someone, I need taxes, importing, exporting, manufacturing, construction, real estate, grooming, hair salon, you name it. You can find a mentor for your specific business type and model. Just go to score.org and find your mentor. You can ask them questions. They can help you with all of these things. They'll give you free advice. Excuse me. Oh, I'm getting hiccups. So visit score.org, find the nearest chapter near you, connect with them today, and get a counselor. Next slide, please. Here's another one, the Small Business Development Centers, America's SBDCs, Small Business Development Centers. Here's a website to find the one near you in California. If you're outside of California, you can contact us, and you can go to SBA.gov/SBDC. It'll ask you for a zip code, and you can find the one nearest you. But for California, it's CaliforniaSBDC.org. Free business consulting to get started or grow. Low-cost training on crucial topics. So again, everything, they have an access to capital team. They'll help you with your business plan, financial projections, importing, exporting, all kinds of, they hold a lot of workshops on e-marketing, e-commerce, QuickBooks. So a lot of things happening at the America's SBDC. They will help you. They have a team, which is they have what they call their access to capital team. So if you're looking for an SBA-backed loan, they will connect you with their access to capital team, and they'll help you put together a loan package, and they will help you find the right lender, and they will talk to you about the right program for you, SBA-backed loans, right? So they know everything about us, but we fund them, so they talk our language, okay? Next slide. Our Women's Business Center, which are there to empower women entrepreneurs who still face unique obstacles in the business world. We want to empower our women entrepreneurs. So they do the same type of work, duplicate work exactly as the small business development centers, but we want to empower women entrepreneurs. So if you're a women entrepreneur, you're watching this, I highly encourage you to connect with your local women's business center. The website for California is californiawbc.org. Please connect with them. And if you're outside of California, just go to SBA.gov/women, and you will find out WBC through our national SBA website. But they're going to help you with the same comprehensive training and counseling on a variety of topics in several languages. Yes, they do have, depending on where you're at, business advice to level the playing field against unique challenges or obstacles. So connect with the Women's Business Center to help you with everything that I already explained. And they have, I believe, an access to capital team as well. Next slide, please. The last resource partner that I'm going to cover is our Veterans Business Outreach Center. So this one is basically for our military community, veterans of any era, National Guard, reservists, and military spouses of all of the above. So if you qualify for one of these demographics, you can contact them. So if you're a woman, you can go to a Women's Business Center. But if you're a woman veteran, connect with the VBUC and the Women's Business Center. Find out where both can do for you. So just things of that nature. So just another resource partner for another demographic that we like to engage, which is our military community. Our Veterans Business Outreach Center, their website here in LA is lavbug.org. Please contact them, become a client of them, and they will help you with everything that I cover: counseling or transition assistance, training and advice. They work very well with the small business development centers. They work next to the Women's Business Center. They work with SCORE. So all these four organizations work along with each other. So if one cannot give you an answer, they will connect you with the next one, and they'll do referrals, and they'll get you all the help that they can need, that you need. Okay. So these are the resources to do now. That's the action that you need to take. Connect with one of them, if not all of them, today to get started on your applying for a microloan. Next slide, please. Follow us. This is our account, Twitter or X, I guess we should update that, at SBA_Los Angeles. Our email is lado@sba.gov. You can follow us and go to our events, sba.gov/district/Los Angeles. You can see our upcoming events. And this is our website for our LA district office. SBA.gov is our national one, and SBA.gov/CA/LA takes you to our LA district office. Next slide, please. This is my contact information. Again, Cesar Estrada, Outreach and Marketing Specialist. My number here on my desk is 213-634-3797, and my email, cesar.estrada@sba.gov. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. If you didn't get a chance and you're seeing this at a later date, you can always email me or call me, whichever you're comfortable with your questions regarding access to capital or anything SBA related. And with that, that concludes my presentation, and I thank you for joining us today. Muted. You said.
Thank you. I'm already in my speech and everything. All right. Okay. So since we're towards our end of our presentation, if anybody has any questions, again, please put them in the comment section and we will address them. I believe I see a few. So the first question is, if I have more than one business, can I still apply for a microloan?
Yes. Obviously, each business is individual, so each business can, choose a business that you want to use for the microloan and follow the process that we showed you. But yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. That's good to know. Let's see what else. Okay. So this one has to do with the portal. Do I need to sign up for the My SBA loan portal?
If you have applied for an SBA loan, and once you have one, yes, I highly encourage you. If you have a current SBA loan and you have not applied or you have not created My SBA loan portal for you, I highly encourage you to do it so you can track your loan. Yes, I do encourage it a lot. It's a great tool. Will save you a lot of headaches, I think, in case you don't know if the payment went through or what happened to my loan. I haven't heard from the SBA, or even worse, they didn't get your payment, something went wrong. Or what I hear a lot is people, theft. Somebody stole their identity, their checkbook, their credit card, and they had to cancel everything. And so the payment didn't go to the SBA because you were, something happened to you. So you need to update your information to keep current. Just like everything else that you're going to have to do, keep the SBA current on your loan. So yes, it's a great tool for you. Okay,
that's good to hear. Granted, it's another account you have to keep track of, but that's perfect because it's a necessary one. So if you have a loan, sign up. And then one last question, and this might be a little bit more for me. Where can I get assistance? And I'm assuming also research with creating a business plan. And luckily, that's what we are here. So at the Business and Economics Department, we have librarians that are here to assist you with any area of your business plan, whether it's looking at other templates or other examples of other small businesses in different industries that you kind of want to see what they did. What did their financials look like, the projections. So anything like that, we have the resources here at the library. We have them in print, we have them online, and we have a lot of databases with, of course, primary resources that have the data, that have already compiled it all for you. You just need to come, ask us, and we will try to help you and assist you in assimilating the information and putting it together. We will not create the plan for you, but we can assist you with the information. So for those of you who want to come talk to us, you can do it in person. We have email, we have phone. And if by any chance you don't want to do any of those, we do have a service called Book a Librarian. And through this service, you can have a one-on-one appointment with a librarian like myself, and we will walk you through the process of whatever it is that you need. And hopefully, and it could be remote, of course, too. So again, if you can't make it into the library, just consider us for online service. So I still don't see any other questions from our audience. And if that's the case, then thank you, Cesar, for this great presentation on microloans. I know it was a lot of information. And like Cesar said, this is being recorded. So if you didn't have a chance to see it, don't want to hear us talk throughout the whole thing, you can easily just pause and go to the sections that you are most interested in. Again, thank you all for being here. I have to say I found the myth section really interesting, Cesar. So I want to see what other questions you come up for next week in the Spanish version to see, okay, do you have any new myths? So that would be interesting. And I'm also kind of intrigued. Maybe we should have that for the library. So who knows? Maybe you guys will see it in the future. And with that being said, please consider our online calendar for any future programs. As I mentioned, and Cesar might have mentioned it, I don't know, we have this program coming up in Spanish next week on Monday at the same time.
Thank you. Yes, join us next Monday at the same time. We'll be doing this in Spanish. We will be there.
So for any of you who are interested, who are street vendors, I believe they can apply as well. Street vendors, any of those? Yeah, okay, perfect. See, so if you have any questions for Cesar for next week in Spanish, please join us. And other than that, thank you everyone for joining us today, and have a great afternoon. And again, thank you, Cesar, for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you to the LA Public Library. Thank you, Lisette. It was wonderful to be here. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.